Hey, what's going on, YouTube? We are back for another episode of our new series, the Poll Commentary series, where we're going to take a look at a player's polls and with the assumption of them like being a new player, what do they get out of their polls that is maybe going to help them out? In particular, looking at units, but also what synergy do they have with the units that they get? What units maybe have good TMRs or STMRs you want to go after? And also tonight we're going to be talking about vision cards that are also like popping out of Neo Visions. And just like I said in the last video, I thought it'd be fun to have a guest. And so the first one that came to mind actually for me to even ask someone specific was Sketch, who's been on a beige carpet review before. So Sketch, graciously agreed to join us. I'm gonna let Sketch go ahead and say hello.
Hey everybody, I really hope you enjoy the series. It's nice having a different type of content that other people don't do. So it's cool that Gary's kind of letting us experience different things that we don't see 100 times already.
I'm glad you're excited to be a part of it, and I'm glad you think it's a cool series. It just kind of came out of it actually came out of Sire like wanting to share like polls that he had recorded. And I just wanted to do something interesting with it. And I think a lot of times we talk about a lot about like what are the best units out there, but we maybe miss talking about like what are like usable units out there. Like obviously you want like the top 5% of best units like for like going after hard stuff, but there's also just like usable, useful, potentially like potentially working together units that are available in lots of range. So I think it's pretty cool. Thanks for joining me though. I really appreciate it. And what we're gonna be looking at in this one is Sire's pulls for the Elena step up, both the vision card and then going the rest of the way to pity. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way and pop this up here. And as before, I'm gonna kind of fast forward through if there's any kind of connection issues. We'll pause on every like full step that we can kind of evaluate like what's good, talk a little bit about each one, and we'll make some notes on the right hand side of the screen. Are you ready, Sketch?
Yeah, it sounds great.
All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and start this one. You should be able to hear some vision card music that you like. Might be a little quiet for you.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
You like that one?
I'm a fan.
You are definitely a fan.
For sure.
So did you pull for Elena, by the way?
Yeah, it went terrible.
Oh gosh, I feel your pain there.
Let's just say our pulls were almost the same down to a T.
Oh gosh. All right, we're gonna pause it here. Okay, so we've got rainbows. We've got Eurytia, and I guess that's Black Mage Arc. And then a couple other things. So how do you feel about this first step?
So I really like the Gal. Gal's STMR is great, and you can get copies of him in the Quartz shop.
Yep.
So you can get a good the killers on his STMR are very useful because a lot of bosses in the game it's very common killers, right? So that's the first thing that makes out to me is that is a great tool for a DPS when we get one.
Mm-hmm. And Gao, I would say, as an NVA, as a 3-star that you can get with Star Quartz, is actually not horrible as long as the boss is weak to lightning.
Yeah, that's a really good point. This ball in general has a couple of things that actually stand out a lot. I understand people might be a little spoiled with Sylvie, but Euryshia's NVA is actually pretty good.
Euryshia's NVA comes with killers, also comes with mitigations, also comes with like the ability to like steal imperils and stuff from your party and put them on herself. LB fill.
She's also a buffer.
Also a buffer, so she can wear like some of the buffer tag stuff. And Arc. Isn't Arc's STMR like a chronicle weapon or a chronicle item?
Yes, his hat.
The hat.
It is a magic.
Arc's hat, yeah.
Actually, quite good.
I think it's 80. I think it's 80 magic. I'm gonna pull that up really quick while we're debating it.
That sounds correct.
Arc's hat. There we go. Final Fantasy 3. So base stats on it is 64. Also has LB fill rate and 3% MP recovery. And then the final version is 80 magic, 42 spirit.
Yeah, that's very good if we pull a good mage.
Yeah, I still use it honestly from time to time.
Me too.
So I'm definitely not offended by that. But of course, we do got to get more copies of him or prisms and STMR Moogles. That's kind of an assumption when we go through these TMRs and stuff like that. Beyond that, I do enjoy. Rex actually has kind of a nice TMR as well, isn't that Rex? Or is that?
That's Rex.
I think that's Rex. Rex, I
That's
believe,
Rex.
that's Galbana Lilies, which is good for Clash of Wills.
It's very true.
Yeah, invaluable item. And Kroa has honorable rod arts, which lets you equip rods and gives you HP. So
Yeah, there is. This is actually now that you mention the rod arts, I totally forgot about the rod arts for a second. That whole class of TMRs, I still use them from time to time because like if your party has a specific weapon in peril, you try very hard to make everybody in the party have that weapon, so it's easier for rotations and stuff. So I really like that set of items in general.
I'm putting honorable rod arts on the list as well as Ark's hat of TMRs and STMRs that we got. And then for units, I am going to go ahead and put Eurisha on there because we mentioned she's got multiple roles she can fill, do a lot of different things for your party. And Gao as a possible. I'm certain we're going to get a better DPS unit as we go. But
Oh yeah.
it's there. It's there because you can farm him up to EX3 just with Star Quartz, which is like stupid. So yeah, I think we're ready to go. You ready?
Yep, not a bad start.
Not a bad start. And I was actually just having this conversation in Reddit today. Like, yeah, there's only like a few units that you want, but like just because you want them and don't get them doesn't mean that other stuff you get is not potentially valuable. It just might not be the absolute best.
I agree. Especially if you get what people call like older Clash of Wills units, like they're slightly old. A lot of those are still fantastic.
And I just jumped ahead a little bit. Here we go. Okay. All right. What do you think about this one?
Two things come to mind immediately. Poppy has a very good kit.
As an NVA, not as a 7-star, but as an NVA.
Yeah. Because new players get a bunch of UOC tickets, though. Like, I don't mind for free. Like, I don't mind talking about. I was going to get to the it's an NVA, but she does a lot. Like, as far as like 5-star NVAs you could get, like, she's probably in my top 3. Like, for a new account, like she just does a lot. She's really good.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of Phoenix Synergy from Jake on the top row. Is very good, as is the Diablos Synergy. So we've got 2 Esper units here. Both of those are pretty valuable. Kalmia has some really limited or niche support against zombie status, and Sabin can become a magic tank.
Yeah, I was going to hit on that if you didn't. The really random part is Steven turns into a magic take. He's not even a bad magic take either. It's just like, I don't know where they came up with that idea from.
We're just gonna allow it. We're just gonna allow it. You know what I mean? Beyond that, I don't really think anything here is like that amazing. I guess Eclipsa has like the bonus Esper stats at like the weakest level. Her TMR, Phantom Force. Other than that, yeah, not that exciting.
The only thing is, like, on Kamiya is she also heals, so like if for some reason you need a healer, which if you get anything near a newer DPS, you will just destroy everything and not need healers for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you don't get another healer or somebody that can or one of the tanks that can heal, call me, I can heal for you. So like, I think she gets extra points for that,
Yeah.
but the rest of her non-healing stuff is incredibly niche.
Yeah. And can I just say that Diablos and Sol is one of those units that I feel like looks way cooler than it needs to. Like it looks so fantastic, and then it's a terrible unit.
Yeah.
Does nothing. It does nothing, even compared to the other Esper units. Anyway, I digress. I think we're ready. We're gonna move forward.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're good. Let's move forward. Not as much great stuff in that one, but I mean, you know, a lot of TMRs and STMRs.
I'm sure there's plenty of good stuff coming.
There's gotta be.
It's very hard not to hit at a basic level for a new account, like just pulling in general.
I think it's really easy to be overwhelmed by like, oh, what does this do? What does this unit do? Like, do they have, you know, and even trying to collect TMRs and STMRs like is hard in the beginning. Back in our day, we had to farm them in the Earth Shrine.
Thanks. That was terrible.
Oh, we got one.
Ooh.
Okay. Cool. That's a start.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that is the that was the what's her name card. That was the Coral Rider Vision card. So that was our first Vision card that we got. So we're gonna stop and talk about that. But this is an all 11 pool, so all rainbow pool, so potentially a lot we could talk about here. And I'm already seeing some synergy. I hope you're seeing it too. What are your thoughts?
So I'm gonna ignore Tifa for a minute because that's like the easy shot.
Yeah.
I was talking about healing kits.
Yep.
Focus kit's way better than Calvia's. Like,
absolutely.
I used Volca for a really long time, even into the NV area, because she just offers a lot.
Mm-hmm. She does healing for both HP and MP and status immunities, and I think she has mitigations in her kit as well.
She does.
And as an NVA, like reasonable water support. She's got fully upgraded Flood and Waterga.
I really, really don't think it'll happen, but I want them to revisit Folco. She's just one of my favorite characters.
Yep.
Like if for some reason she matters again and we get an MV based Folco, I will be quite happy. Even if it's just an anniversary thing, like they revisit all the Veritas or something, that would be sick. But she was so good. She lasts for so long as like the actual best. She was better than the MV healers that we had at the beginning of like when we started getting them. Like she's just really good. So like that, when I was talking about earlier, it's like I was in like my top 3 or 4. Folca's probably my number 2.
There you go.
I'm ecstatic about that.
This is the good one. Even still excluding Tifa, right? So Lena is a pretty good healer, although we now have a better one with Folca. Kefka is an NVA mage and also has a good TMR. That's Corrupted Mage. That's 100% true double hand magic. And some other stuff too. And then I feel like, you know, Awakened Rain has a nice STMR for resistances. It's called the Knights Medal. Knights or Heroes? I think it's Knights.
I think it's Knights Medal.
And I also really enjoy Galuf as a tank.
Yeah, that was going to be my second one. Galuf is more than reasonable as a take. Because of how easy evasion gear is to get nowadays, like basic level evasion gear. Like even if you just got him up to like 70% or something like that, that's more than enough to do the job early game for tanking. Like this is actually a really good pool between Galuf for tank, Folca for healing, and then Tifa as a DPS.
Not to mention that Galuf also has Fire and Light Imbue in his NVA kit. He might even have it in his regular kit, but either way, I know he gets it he has it by the time he's an NVA. So we've got multiple element support for our party if we, you know, awaken some of these units.
Yeah, but besides the boost, like Kafka does multiple elements too, if I remember correctly.
I know he does ice. I think he has some others as well.
I feel like he does thunder.
Archmage Kefka. There he is. He has the ice tag for what that's worth. And then he's got, as far as chaining goes, he has ice, dark, and thunder. With 120% imperils too at that.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Man's good. Like as far as
he could wear that Ark's hat.
He can. Like that's probably our best Arc hack user right now.
There you go.
If I remember correctly, and I'm checking real quick. I believe has something else in it. Matters a lot.
I think he has some breaks, or maybe he has the breaker tag. Let me look at that.
He has killers.
Oh, he does. Oh, he does have the breaker tag too, by the way. Killers. Let's look.
Yeah, he has human and beast and avian killer and 84% defense and spirit break.
That is a pretty solid pick, then, I would say. I mean, maybe not your best mage ever, but that's a lot of stuff that this one unit can do. Where is kits? Are they in the? Are the killers and stuff in the brave shift?
Yes.
Aha! I'm looking at the base shift, so the base form. So there we go. 84% defense and spirit, human, beast, and bird. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're 2 uses per battle though. That's pretty good. Cool.
Yeah, that 2 uses is more than enough for what people are going to be doing at the beginning of the game.
Absolutely.
Like you were going to murder things. Like Kafka, I was like, man, there's something else I remember being like very good because I was excited when this NVA happened a long time ago, and it was because he has killers. Like the killers just like are like, oh, this is very random. He has these. They aren't self killers. Like you can give them to a party member. Like okay, sure.
That's great. I'm looking for the vision card that we got because we picked up a vision card here. The one with I can't remember.
The coral one.
The coral rider, and I'm looking for it on the list, and I'm not finding it. It's in the generic cards, I think.
It is.
This list of vision cards is huge at this point. Hey, there's the Addison Rae vision card. Yay! Here we go. Wake up coral. Attack 40% with a spear. And if you're a female unit, you get 20% more attack and 25% insect and beast killer. I mean,
even for a new player card, that's a little too niche for me.
It's a little too niche, and it does have 80 attack on it. Like dream big. So anyway, we have now talked about vision cards. There we go. We got one. So other than that, Tifa obviously great. Great vision card on Tifa has beast killer on it. In addition to just being really good. I mean, real averagely good, I would say at this point. But for a new player, fantastic, and a fantastic STMR.
The big standpoint out for me is Tifa's water and Focus water.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got them in the same pool.
Yep, for sure. Definitely going to be using them together.
And Tifa, after you get her crowns, which by the way, if you missed, they are adding them for people out there. If you might have missed that, like they're adding where we're going to be able to go back and get the crowns. Tifa with crowns is actually like, I think she's 8th best DPS in the game. It's really high.
Now, it's going to take you a lot to get to the point where you can gear her for that. But, I mean, at this point, you know, you've got a Neovisions unit who's going to carry you through the beginning of the game. This will get you to Runda.
Yeah. Easily. Like, but I was thinking more of, like, getting something that's good now and, like, falls off a cliff, like, is less exciting than, like, hey, I pulled this unit that's good for what I need right now, and then I can work really hard and get her to the point where, like, hey, she can just be my premier DPS if I like her.
Mm-hmm. And who knows, maybe we'll even get a water leader eventually.
If we don't get a global exclusive one, we're gonna be waiting
quite a while, because awkward.
We're gonna be waiting a while.
Awkward. Let's keep going. We're talking a lot. Hey, guaranteed Neo's coming up. This is good. It's gonna start getting a little more interesting.
That's the only time I see them come down red.
Gosh, I know. It's so depressing. But they look so cool when they come down red. They're like the whole screen kind of glows red. Like it's so good. We're gonna fast forward a little bit here. Come on.
Yeah.
There it is. If you decide that you want to submit footage for of one of these videos, make sure your phone is on Do Not Disturb. Oh my gosh.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, well, this guy's not going to be in the party whatsoever. Make sure your phone's on Do Not Disturb, though. You don't want us to see, like, you know, your dirty pics that are coming up during the pool video. Like that. Oh, I went too far. I was so distracted by what I saw on the screen. All right, here he goes. Okay. So let's just ignore that first one for a second. And otherwise, yeah. Domino's boots have paralysis immunity, I think. And what's his name? Amarant is a counter DPS NVA. Beyond that, I'm not seeing a whole lot here.
So this one's pretty poor. Besides the elephant in the room,
Mm-hmm.
it's you in a second. Amarant NVA is actually not bad because of the way his kit works. He actually ignores some boss mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Being a counter unit, they actually don't do that many counter units anymore.
Yep.
So like that's kind of a cool, neat thing that you could have in your bag. And he's a 3-star. Like, there's a decent chance you get more of them like throughout your pulls and stuff like that. But, like, when do you get? Can you get early? I'm pretty sure he's in the star quartz as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like it's just cool that like you have options. However, we have this giant elephant in the room that's like, oh, well, you guys can talk about me or no?
Yeah, seriously. So obviously, Rain, most flexible leader skill in the game. And on top of that, actually being good at what he does. Pretty self-contained. He's a breaker and a sword imperiler and a fire support unit and just a good damage dealer. And you can take him to Clash of Wills. And he's a leader skill. Like he does too many good things, you know?
So I think that Rain is the second best possible character that you could pull as a new player.
Absolutely.
That leader skill is insane because of how many FFBE type units there are in the game, how many there will continue to be, and there's just so many options for his team. He also leads fire, so if you pull a fire DPS like that's not on FFB, you can run him as well.
Like, I don't know, like if you maybe like pull a Genesis or something along the way, you know, just maybe. Yeah.
Oh man.
Or even like, you know, Olive.
Sick.
If you pull an Olive, you know, like Olive's a fire tag unit. You know. Yeah. Very cool. Very good pick here.
So many options. Like I would be overjoyed if I was a new player and I got Rain.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. He's so good that we don't even really need to talk about him that much.
Oh.
Now, if you missed his event though, I don't think you can get his backup weapon. So
no, you'll have to wait until they put all of that stuff in.
Still, solidly good unit.
Unit's great.
Here we go.
Unit's completely great. Like, all right, what are we in this time?
3. Holy cow. Okay.
All right.
Very, very good. Nice. And
this is already more Elena's than I got on her.
We missed the vision card. I mean, just to want to see which vision card that was really quick, because he skipped it. This is the Scorpion battle. Okay. And there's Elena. We'll see what vision card you got here. Okay, fond memory. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Wow. If this was a new player, yeah. Oh, and that the Cookie Chef card. Okay. Okay, Sabin is off the table. I'm sorry, Sabin. Goodbye. We're just gonna go ahead and replace you with Elena. And Gao is off the table too. I'm sorry, we're replacing you with Ibarra. I apologize. Kuja, though. I mean, so with Kuja, you've got Fire Imperil, which is going to go nicely with Rain, and Light Imperil. He does both. Just his light is better.
Yeah, he's also our best option for breaks.
So Kefka had 84, I believe we said.
Mm-hmm.
Planet Destroyer Kuja has, I think, 89, maybe 87 spirit, maybe 88 spirit. It's in his Brave Shift. 87 defense, 89 spirit. So this is better. He's got 130 Fire Imperil and 160 Light Imperil. In the normal form, he's got, with the LB, 130. So it's, yeah, so he's sitting on a 130, which is still not terrible. And then the 160 Light Imperil.
Good thing we don't have another character that we just pulled that cares about SPR being lowered.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure, you know. Yeah, and well, actually two of them, because, you know, Elena targets Spirit too.
Yeah, this pull is just actually nuts, right?
This is the winning pull for sure.
We're getting extremely close to like just having everything. These pulls are like actually insane. Ibarra is, I'd say, close to invaluable because of how her base form LB works with all the killers she throws on herself. That's such a good new player free to play friendly unit. Like, she's good in like all content. I'll still use Ibarra on like newer trials that have came out in like the last month or so.
Yep.
I use her in Clash of Wills all the time. Anytime that I can fit her on the team, just going, I just EX3'd mine.
Yep.
Like, she so good. Kuja's a good breaker. Maybe we end up with something better, but like Kuja's quite good. Yeah, that's we haven't even made it to Elena yet.
Yep. So we're gonna definitely have Kuja on this list of units that are useful for us. And Ibarra's here. I think Ibarra, even, you know, at this point, you know, definitely replaces Archmage Kefka. Between Kuja and Ibarra, we're set. And there's a couple of good things that we're not necessarily hitting. So Ladle is one of those 3-star units that gives you an equip item materia. His Guardian Visor, I believe, lets you wear light shields. The Chic Summer Hat is a very good 4-star TMR that has fire, pretty high fire. I think it's like 40% fire resistance on it on a hat, which is not bad. And beyond that, I don't know if we're really dying for any other stuff. But those, like the Guardian Visor for equipping light shields and the Chic Summer Hat are definitely up there.
To put it in perspective, I have like 5 summer hats made.
Yeah.
I still use that. It's a good piece of gear.
Yeah. Chic Summer Hat. Guardian Visor. I like it.
Like, this pull just does a lot. Like, honestly, all we're really missing is there going to be like a Sylvie in these pulls? Like, like if we get Sylvie too, like, I'm just sold.
No, what's going to happen is he's going to pull a Melissa and I'm going to die a little inside. Gosh. Still, he even took a screenshot of it. Yeah. He's like, I love this pool.
I would too. That one pull was better than all the pulls that I did total.
Yeah. That was fantastic. Especially like if you're brand new and you got that, like, you are basically set. Like, put all those units in the fragment dungeon. See you in a month and you'll be wiping out, you know, all the basic content in the game.
Oh, wow, you don't even have to pull Sylvie. I just remembered, we're a new player. We just get to go use our Lapis replica and be like, I'm just going to go select Sylvie.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we're
Although
set.
you probably
That
should
looks
use them
great.
on your Elena at this point. Yeah. Game over.
Oh, I guess we have BS bar too. Like,
Nice. Sice.
this is good.
And I missed the vision card again. I'm sorry. This was... Oh, the Earth Crystal one. Yeah, who cares?
That's another unfortunate poor one.
Okay. So, obviously, Ibarra, we're now at Brave Shift, so we're gonna just put BS here. And we've got another Golem of Lilies. We've got Sice, who's a very recent upgrade to an NVA which actually does really nice breaks and reasonable damage as a when you consider that they're a 3-star base unit. And then, I mean, technically, what's his name? Rubicante is a NVA, but like at this, we have Ibarra. So why are we worrying about that?
Something a note of Sice that may matter depending on what your team looks like. She has actually pretty good sized Dark and Wind Imperils too. So if you end up on either of those elements, like she could easily be your breaker over Kuja, even though like she has slightly worse breaks. If the imperils matter, it will matter a lot more than 1%.
And with Ibarra here, I'm kind of inclined to think that Sice might be the breaker of choice because of Ibarra's imperil or element focus.
Yeah.
I guess it depends. Like if you're gonna do like rain, then you want Kuja. If you're gonna focus more on your Ibarra, then you want, I guess, bring Sice. But still,
Yeah.
nice option. Nice to have the options. And again, you can get them with Star Quartz. So now that was the 6th pull. So I don't know what the remaining 2 minutes of this video are. Probably just going to get the tickets and stuff like that. Yeah, just going to get the tickets. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over to the remainder of the pity, and that's here. Oh my gosh, on the first pull, really? I'm kind of offended. That's fantastic. Fond memory again. Let me hit a couple of these vision cards. So fond memory is... Here we are. Attack 60 when equipping with a fist. And then increase physical damage against machines and magic damage against machines 50%. So 80 attack, 60% attack with a fist, and machine killer. Kooky Chef is 400 HP, 80 attack with 50% HP, and increase equipment defense 50% when single wielding any weapon. So it's a tank card technically. And then there was one other one that we saw.
You got Earth Crystal.
The Earth Crystal one, yeah, there we go. Scorpion Sentinel Battle. Basically he heals you a little bit at the start of the fight or after being revived and gives you defense 20%. It's bad. And then Vengeful Blow is the Earth Crystal one. Dark Resistance 30 and attack 30%. Dark Resistance on a card's not terrible, but we're just getting started. So okay.
Something of note before we move on.
Yeah.
You got Nagi in the last set of pulls. Nagi's STMR is great.
Oh yeah, that's a Yin Yang double hand? Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's put that on the list because that is a good one.
Sources of true dual wield, especially magic, a little hard to come by, and it has like I want to say 40% stats to magic and attack as well.
Yeah, I'm just going back to look at the actual pull. So it is, here we go. So we have Nagi Lightning, Lightning's an NVA. Lightning does pretty good lightning support. So it does have like imperils and gun imperil and machine killer buff and lightning imbue for the party.
Yeah, she definitely has a use. Like I want to say we already covered lightning imbue? Maybe we didn't.
No, we talked about Gao having lightning in his like kind of innate in his stuff.
No,
but-
you're right. You're right. I had the elements mixed up. All right, yeah.
We talked about
So like,
Folka
it's another
and
elemental option.
So we've got at this point now we've got Folka for lightning support, Galuf for light and fire, rain for fire, and lightning for lightning. And whatever Poppy does. I think Poppy does light. Maybe wind? I'm drawing a blank.
I will double check. I want to say she does 3 elements.
She has a light category. That's fun. And she does pastel wall. She does blue. She does water, wind, and light.
Yeah, it was 3.
Yep. Very good. Very good. Cool. So we've got a lot of options for like elemental support.
And we're getting close to EX2 Ibarra.
Yeah. Absurd. Unfair. There we go.
Oh man.
I was gonna say if that upgrades one more time, I'm gonna be frustrated. Okay. So Noel has Machine and Dragon Killer on a STMR. Or maybe it's a TMR. Noel.
I think it's us too.
It is yes, it's his last Guardian. So 80% attack with Machine and Dragon Killer 75%. Physical only, but it is there.
That's fine. Our DPS is Ibarra. She'll love it.
Yep. So we're gonna put last Guardian here, just for killer support, and then beyond that, I mean, Ibarra's not gonna be upset about that Black Mage robe, from Dark Fina. I think it's called Miculum Nagra or something like that. Dark.
I can't pronounce that.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I cannot pronounce that.
Well, if I can see it on my screen. Oh my gosh, not White Lily Dark Phoenix. Come on. It is a Miculum Nigra. Okay, there we go. I was pretty close.
Sure. You work very close. I would never have guessed that.
I definitely don't have 80 gigs of useless data downloaded to my brain. Past that, Heavenly Technician lids STMR is okay. It's like that accessory that fills LB gauge.
Yeah, one thing of note is these pulls are tilting me a little bit because this is our 3rd Ultima, and they remind me how excited I was for that unit when it came out, and she wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't get Final Fantasy Tactics stuff again till JP just got it, so I hope that the second part is a new Ultima, because I was so excited for this unit.
I thought I saw a screenshot of NVAs that were being done, and I thought hers was on there, but I could be wrong. I'd have to go and look.
That would be really cool.
It would be.
I am excited.
And I love NVAs. But I think past that, we don't really have a whole lot here to talk about. The killer and the robe. Okay, so what's her name? Tetrasilphid and Physalis. They have true dual wield materia, I think.
It's like true dual wield with gun, or her gun has true dual wield.
Physalis, what is it called? Tetra. Gosh. I can't remember.
Tetrasilphid and Physalis. That's her name. Tetrasilphid and Physalis. Or that's her SMR names. It's called 4 Winds Physalis.
4 Winds. That's what it's called. 4 Winds. Okay, so it is Tetrasilphid synergy is increase MP 20%, magic 50%, enables dual wielding of one-handed weapons. That's what it is. It's a dual wield materia. And then STMR is a gun, magic 180. And I think Ibarra can wear guns. But she wants her katana anyway. Not important. The original Ibarra can wear guns. I remember that. But yeah. So it's just a dual wield item. So I'm not going to include that one. I mean, it's not as good as it used to be, dual wield. So okay. This is an 11 summon, so this one might take a second to talk about. Come on, there we go.
Oh, they get 7 MVs.
Okay. What do you think?
So first thing comes to mind is Zon.
Mm-hmm.
Zon, for people that don't know, he gets the copy killers, spread them to the party. We have gone over multiple units that have killers. Something that's really funny is that you can use Ibarra's LB to give her all those killers and then steal them for your whole party.
Yeah, so definitely Zon is going on our list here because Zon and Ibarra going together is going to be great. That's Zon.
Yeah. Talking about units that people really wanted to see an NVA for.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm going to put Cindy's mechanic for the royal family on the STMR list. It's 100% machine killer, which is great. And beyond that, Kuja's rod, right? Is it the Brumal cores? I believe get upgraded.
There are several good STMRs here. Shiva Laswell's STMR is very good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brumal cores become a two-handed rod, 210 magic, with Destroyer's Impulse, which is 500 magic for Kuja and Trans Kuja and stuff like that. So really good for the Kuja that we have, Planet Destroyer Kuja. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on the list too. Brumal cores. What is the name of that Shiva Laswell item? Is it like
Glacial Glacial Battle Garb.
Yes, that's a really good one. We also have Aiden's staff, the
medical staff.
The medical staff is a good one. That's gonna be good on our Folka, or our Poppy, honestly.
Aiden's TMR is very good.
Yes, that one is.
I don't remember the name of Aiden's TMR. I'm looking it up, but it has ribbon on it.
Yeah, Dr. Aiden. Here he is. It is the trench coat. Dark Disguise. Yeah, this is good. This is great. Night camouflage for Dr. Aiden only. And yeah, that's great. Aiden's trench coat.
There is like several things here, which is cool. Like a lot of people will look at an all rainbow pool and be like, I don't know if I want any of this stuff. This is actually like a TMR gold mine.
It's a smorgasbord. Even Axstar, right? That original Axstar has as a TMR the Rush Glove, and it gives true double hand attack and LB gauge fill rate. His katana is a one-handed or two-handed 180 attack katana. It's got options.
Yeah, actually, the Refia also is an NVA. I'm having to look it up. There's something good that her NVA does, and I can't quite remember right this second.
There's very little good that her NVA did. But let's take a look. Onion Knight Refia. One of the worst NVAs we have. But she has Brave Shift.
There was something really cool that made this notable.
She has killers. She has Reaper Killer to the whole party, and with she has Reaper Mitigation. Sorry, for the whole party. She has LB gauge fill rate for herself, and for the whole party. And she has multiple imperils for elements. Cure status ailments to all enemies. Increase defense and spirit. Recover 60 MP to all allies.
Okay. So the thing that I was thinking about is something that we haven't talked about a lot is she has 4 element AoE resistances,
Mhm.
which if we're talking about base level trials, there are some fights that are completely invalidated by that.
Yes. These are all in her base form, right?
The one I'm talking about is in her NVA form,
Okay.
but she may have them as base as well.
Nope,
I
it's right
just know that
here.
we haven't.
Light crystals protection. Yeah,
Um,
that's
I
good.
just know that we haven't covered elemental resistances that much, and that's just
Mm-hmm.
something she can do. I really dislike the NVA, but I mean, there's like a good point.
Ooh, and she has turtle shell, so mitigations 50% to both types for 4 turns, for all allies, and 1 reflect spell, 4 uses per battle.
Yeah.
She's got it. She's got some utility. It's a shame she's kind of cruddy at doing damage, but yeah, you know.
So we still have more. We
Yep.
got Shantoto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Shantoto is another NVA.
Okay.
She has an STMR I use all the time.
Yeah.
80% magic when you have a rod. Bam. Easiest thing to set up ever.
And that's Witch's Cackle, I think.
Yes. Which is Cackle.
Yep. Very, very good.
Something else that's notable is her rod is a chronicle weapon, her TMR.
Mm-hmm.
It goes all the way up to 188 magic, and it has 50% LB damage on it.
Yes. That is, what is that called? Is that
Levitine.
Levitine. I'm gonna pretend like I know how to spell that. Yeah. Cool. Very good. And now, if you're keeping score, we've got Call Me a 7-star available to us, if you really wanted to. This Zidane, this is Rakish Thief Zidane, so I think his dagger is the STMR that you can make into a chronicle weapon.
It is.
That's Ultima weapon, I think.
That sounds correct.
Zidane. Cool. Gotta say, this is this list of stuff that we're getting is a lot bigger than the one we got for the last video. So we didn't. This is good. This is why I needed somebody else with me, because you're remembering a lot of things that I'm not.
Yeah, it's just yeah. When I saw this pool, I'm like, oh man, I already see like 4 things to talk about. Like, this is great gear.
Yeah, a lot of good starter gear off of this pull. This is the free summon. And of course, taking a second to load. That's a lot of seconds to load. Get better Wi-Fi, dude. He knows I'm teasing him.
It's just 9 MVs to make me mad.
There have been a lot of NVs. It's kind of crazy. And there's 10.
Oh, there is one.
Oh my goodness. So good.
Well, I guess we're not. We don't have to use our coins immediately on.
Nope, we can use that to pick up our Sylvie. Oh gosh. He's hesitating on this vision card. He's like, I'm really not sure what he wants. What'd you get? All right, he got that Cookie Chef again. Okay. Okay. Someone mentioned this in the last video, Zell's STMR has killers on it.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
That's basically it for me in this pool. She MVA and I don't care for it. Lightning.
Oh yeah,
It
Lightning is that version of Lightning is a terrible NVA. Good,
it's
good STMR though. That's dual form.
yes. That is her only thing. Dual
Yes.
form is great. 100% true dual world attack. Let's go.
Yeah,
Great.
that's pretty good. Larsa has something that like ether counters, I think, which is sometimes useful. I'm looking that up.
Sure.
Larsa. Oh no, it's not. That's not even Larsa. That's somebody else. Is that Larsa? Who is that?
What was the name of the teamer?
Well, I thought that was Larsa. That was a pic. That unit was Larsa, but
That is Larsa, isn't it?
well, this one is saying Larsa is a 3-star unit, not a 5-star. You know what? It's probably not. It's probably like something something Larsa. Ray of Hope Larsa. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
There he is. Future Emperor. Yeah, 50% MP, chance to counter physical attacks, 30% with ether counter, which fills MP to the whole party. Which is pretty cool. And then Swordbreaker is a decent defense offhand weapon.
Interesting thing on his STMR is it enables dual wielding.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like kind of notable. That isn't such a big deal nowadays, but I actually used his STMR multiple times.
Yeah.
Back in the day, because like there was a long period of time where if you wanted to gear for true double hand, you required a bunch of specific things that I did not have.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's definitely a thing. I remember. Do you remember? Were you around in the early days where like Zidane regular 3-star Zidane's TMR was the best thing you could get?
Oh yeah. It
And then,
was like you got a Zidane, and you're like, I am happier that I got this Zidane than the 5-star that I was pulling for on this game.
seriously,
Like
I
between how good it was and the fact that like if you had multiple copies, that was less
yeah.
Earth Shrine that you had to do.
You whale! How dare you have 3 copies of dual wield?
Exactly.
And then it took me forever to get one, and then I got a Gilgamesh, and so Genji Glove just like made it obsolete. Let's see here.
Gilgamesh was my first 5-star.
Oh, mine too. How fun. He was my last ticket too. My very first time ever seeing a rainbow crystal. And we have not our very first, but one of our first entries of LB damage on a materia slot.
Yeah.
That is called Cloud Advent Children.
Mako something probably.
It is Courage to Move On. LB damage 30% with attack 60%.
For what it's worth, his STMR is also very good.
Fusion Sword is 190 attack with Limit Break version 5, which also increases LB damage. For a starter player item, that is fantastic. Especially if you're going to dual wield.
One of the hardest things as a starting player, I think, is getting ways to increase your LB damage.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
So any LB damage gear that we get is like premium. That's why like that Shintoto rod, such a big deal. Like you get to upgrade that for free.
Now this is not ladle. It looks like ladle, but it's Shilt. And Shilt does something, has a different one. Shilt. Oh no, this is not Shilt. That is ladle. Is it? Yes, that is ladle. My mistake. I was gonna say something exciting, but it's not. It's ladle. Oops. Whatever.
It's been a really long time.
It has been, and they're basically the same unit.
Right.
What's her name? Aranea has true
Yep.
double hand attack on a ability slot, I believe. And then Sid is an NVA.
She has two double hand attack on her weapon as her SMR as well, I believe. And it is a chronicle weapon. I'm pretty sure. We'll check real quick.
Stoss
Um,
Spear is 140, has high jump. Oh gosh, I hate the wiki so much. 140 high jump, and two-handed, and high jump is 100% damage, jump damage. And Skylancer is 100% attack, true double hand, and a 30% attack when equipped with the spear.
okay, I remember what they did. So Staw Spear was one of the rare instances where Gumi increased the attack on the T-bar. Like they just flat increased it. That's what it was. I wasn't remember correctly. It actually used to be 110,
Oh,
and they bumped it to 140.
we'll take it. It's a free upgrade.
Yeah, I was just like, is that a chronicle weapon? I know that thing got upgraded. No, it wasn't. But
So I'm gonna put Skylancer on here, just for the true double hand attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting good stuff here. Sid, I feel like also has something. Sid, is it just Sid? Yeah, it's just Sid. Skyfeather is a 175 wind element attack, wind element spear, two-handed, and Hero's Vow wind 50% true double hand, with jump damage and LB gauge fill rate. It's there.
Yeah. There's a lot of issues with Dragoons nowadays. I used to be a lot higher on them, and like the way amplifications and stuff works, it's like kind of rough. The only way I've seen them try to fix this is like Rhea gets an NVA later, and instead of like trying to fix amps, they just gave her like ungodly high mods to try to make it work, and like it's somewhat worked. Like she's in like the upper middle range of like damage dealers, but her mods are to the moon because it doesn't work with amps.
It is very silly, the amp thing.
Happens.
I got a
That was
mid in recently, and like I had mixed
I like mid.
feelings.
One thing about mid is LB field sick.
She has an LB field?
I believe it is on her LB.
Oh, cool. I didn't know. Okay. I'll just go ahead and say that Medina is one of those units that I love to use, but like end up getting really frustrated because her gearing is harder than it needs to be to max out her like ice catastrophe. But she's technically a meteor quote unquote user because she can do that ice catastrophe move. Potentially very, very strong depending on what kind of gear you have. If you don't have Dazzling Demoness, though, it's going to be really hard to make that work.
Yeah. Something of note to me, the things that I've used in the past is Sukiku or Siko. Yeah, Sikuku.
Tsukiko.
Estimate. Tsukiko's Estimar. I cannot say that. I don't know why I couldn't say it, but like
The fox, or it's like the Shrine Maiden's clothes or something, right?
her Estimar is. I was gonna go over both. Her
Oh, the
Estimar is
broom.
very good.
Yeah, the broom.
It has 50% true double hand magic on it, which could be useful. It's a 170, but the bigger thing is what you were going to say is EMR, the priestess attire, giving somebody absolute zero chaining has come up multiple times.
Yeah, it's a thing you could do. We have another another instance of honorable rod arts. So that's kind of cool. Medina's Quintessence gives true dual wield magic, I believe. I think it got upgraded. Quintessence.
It was upgraded. I do not remember what it does, but it was upgraded.
Magic 15% with a rod, magic 15% with a robe, and increase magic true dual wield 50. And it lets you dual wield. So I'm gonna put Quintessence on the list. That is a nice instance of true dual wield.
Something else of note. I was talking about this earlier. There's a Freya in this pool.
Mm-hmm.
Freya's NVA is good. Hold on to that. It honestly should be in like the next month.
Lock your Freyas.
I wish Eileen was treated better. That's another one of those. I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
They didn't do a very good job with her updates, unfortunately. And then you asked about the mid thing. Yeah, mid on her LB has a 40% wind amp fee.
40% wind amp. Okay. Nice.
On her LB. I value that a lot. She's actually one of the off baners I would very much like because she still sees some JP use for that.
Yeah. I like it.
Like, that'll be cool.
I'll have to learn how to use her at some point. We'll see how that goes. Alrighty, come on. Long delay. Oh, I see it's red. That's exciting.
Is it guaranteed?
I don't think so.
Ooh. No, it's not.
Oh my gosh.
EX2.
Is that EX2 Ibarra? Yeah, got your in blade.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's going to be a lot to discuss here. We're going to put Ibarra. I'm just going to make a note, EX2. Here. There we go. So the first thing that stands out to me is Awakened Onion Knight. So yeah. we've got a very good support unit and meteor user on the party now. And obviously his boots and everything that comes with him is reasonably good. Duty to the World is really good for Elemental Tetris, as well as evocation support.
Yeah. Sarah Estimar is very good.
That's that's a true double hand magic one, right? That's the archer one.
Yes, it is I think it has flat magic on it too. Like, it is just very good. Sarah FFBE.
While you're looking that up,
Enchanting Archer.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, it has 60% magic, 20% more magic if you have a bow, and 100% true double hand magic. Very good.
Heinz hat has resistances on it as well as magic. Locks. This adventurer lock has the treasure hunter one that lets you have charm immunity, as well as just some attack. And his STMR has evasion on it.
Yeah, I was going to mention the evasion for sure. Like, we were talking about, well, we could use Galoof earlier if I could just stack some evasion on him. I just give it to Galoof.
Yeah. What is that thing called? It's called like a something treasure hunter.
The STMR or the TMR?
The TMR.
The TMR is first rate treasure hunter.
First rate.
And the STMR is lockstep.
That's right. Those came up in the last video as well. Bart's has the Hermes sandals for true dual wield attack.
Yep.
Bart's is also fairly good wind support for your party as an NVA. For what that's worth. Outside of that, I don't really see anything here. I've heard Sarah's a really good just NVA in general. I've never used her for anything.
So when Sarah released, she was actually extremely good. That was one of the NVAs that I was looking forward to for a long period of time. She has a lot of really good support. She has healing. She can cure everything, including stop and charm.
Mm.
She can give stop and charm resistance as well as re-raise.
I'm gonna put
She
Sarah on the
has
list here as a potential good unit for us to just put in the party.
she has barriers. She can increase LB gauge to the party. She has one more thing. Oh yeah, and she has 50% general mitigation.
Wow. Okay, so she's definitely potentially a potential slot in there. I'm also putting Onion Knight on the list for a potential unit to use. I've used Onion Knight in Dark Vision several times to like buff up like VV chaining, if that's your thing.
Yeah. No, Onion Knight's on that short list of units like Golbez was like, oh, I pull this. This is great.
Mm-hmm. Let's keep going. That Ibarra though, seriously, EX2 Ibarra just from your polls, like that's so stupid. We're not even to pity.
Very, very good.
We're not even to pity. We're almost done though. There's 3 more polls left in the video.
Don't worry, we're just gonna keep getting connecting, and there's gonna be like 4 Elenas in a pool.
Yeah, it's searching for what he's got here. Here we go. Actually, he might have stopped here because there's only 10 seconds left.
Maybe.
Okay, so you can kind of see it getting cut off. That's a brother on the side there. And then Lid, Isaru, and Ravus, I think that is. Yeah. So the Leopold actually has a fairly nice TMR, I believe, depending on what you're doing. Leopold. Gustmane is 30% HP, 20% defense, and wind resistance 30%. As a kind of a bulk a materia, you're just kind of starting out. It's pretty good.
So I want to talk about it's Ravis TMR.
Yep.
Boy, have I used that a lot. Keeping back the dark, having attack percentage and dark resistance, like any TMR / SGMR that has elemental resistance plus the percentage of the DPS that you're using is invaluable because you don't want to give up DPS stacks to make up for your elemental resistance. They're not really a cycle, but there's like 4 or 5 of these 4-star units that have X percentage attack plus 50% elemental resistance.
Yep.
And those are just fantastic. So like I've used that a lot. That's a great one.
That is a good one. And Isaru's Bonds with the Aeons is good for Esper fill on a budget. So, and don't forget that you can also get all of these units that are, 3 and 4 star with Star Quartz. So like if you feel like you just, you want multiple copies of these, you just go to the Star Quartz shop and just grab them. Relatively easy. It's easy to get Star Quartz at this point. Just playing the story mode and going through all the explorations will get you tons of it. So yeah.
Oh yeah. One thing I was looking out for, if this is the end we didn't see.
Yeah, this is the end.
Was a Kianos. Because hard overcoming hatred, like when I was talking about issues with LB damage, like that is one of the best things that you can pull, and it's a 4-star.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just say that unofficially, the sponsor of today's video is Blade of Vengeance Ibarra, who is definitely going on this team. Although I will say, Sire got EX1 Elena. So he got both everything on here, whether he went to the remaining steps or not. Elena and Ibarra, both banner units, are EX1 or better from this process of going through the card step up and the pity step up. So already I would call this a win. So like if you were just starting out, like I would definitely say we're keeping this account for no other reason than Ibarra and Elena, and Flaring Ether Rain. So I'm going to try and see if I can't make this easier to see on the screen. Bear with me here, because there we go. Here's the units that we kind of like said were like you might not be able to see this on your screen. Here's the units that we talked about were like good pickups here. Eurasia, Ibarra, Poppy, Folka, Radiant, Eternal Radiance Elena, Galuf, Awakened Tifa, Flaring Ether Rain, Planet Destroyer Kuja, Sice, Lightning NVA, Mastermind Zon, Sarah, and Awakened Onion Knight. If you were to start like piecing together like a collection of units to start putting a team together, where would you start?
So like we have EX2 Ibarra.
Mhm.
First thing I'm looking at is like outside of like the stuff that you're always going to run like your buffers, be like, what is the best support staff that I have for Ibarra? Because I already have the carry. Let's make the carry as good as possible.
And the thing that stands out to me the most is one you mentioned before, Mastermind Zon. So stealing and spreading her buffs, and he's an extreme Nova chainer, so he can chain with her on her base form LB turns if you need someone to chain with her, as long as you can fill his LB. And he can technically break a little bit, and he can chain with like every chain family. So like he just has a lot of flexibility that he's going to fit onto every team. Not to mention that he can steal from everybody at once to help fill your gil, which you're going to need a lot of gil to upgrade all the stuff you just got on this ridiculous set of pulls. So I think Zon is definitely going on the party with Ibarra.
Yeah, especially if you decide that you want to run Rain, which like you will in a lot of content, like you might not like always, but Rain will benefit so much from getting all of Ibarra's killers off of her LB. Like, Man's already quite a good DPS himself. So you have like plenty of options.
And don't forget that Ibarra, if you really want her to, she can chain with Rain's Limit Burst because she's got AMOE chaining in her shift form. Or you could let Zon do the AMOE chaining with Rain and let her cap with Dark Gray Sky.
Yeah, I guess we just fully get that option because we're already at EX2. Like, we just don't have to be like, well, down the road, like, no, you get to do it now.
Yes. Yes.
And in a lot of scenarios, like, after you, like, you're going to use her first LB, and then you're going to shift, and that's exactly what you're going to do.
It's right. Turn one, kill, just like get it done.
Yeah, like, it's great. Like, there's this team gets to do so much. You got so many good pieces to work with. You even got good TMRs.
Yep.
To put on Ibarra. We even got the hat, 80 magic. We got a great robe because we had Dark Fina. Like we have
her own katana, so we don't need to worry about giving Kuja's Brumal cores to her. Kuja can just wear them himself if we wanted to bring Kuja.
We have multiple Ibarras, so the accessory slots could just be 2 copies of Ibarra's TMR if we don't have something better, which we may or may not. Like, she is just straight stacked.
Yep. And I'm thinking too, so since I kind of spoiled it, but since we're talking about bringing Ibarra, we need the best spirit break we have, and I think that's going to be Planet Destroyer Kuja.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which like once you bring Kuja and you're like thinking about Rain anyway, it makes Rain better anyway, right? Because you have the Fire Imperial. So like it works out. Is Kuja's LB Bull Strike?
It is, but it's locked to those elements. That is the one concern I have with Kuja. So Planet Destroyer Kuja. Base form LB is locked to fire, I believe. It's bolting strike, fire magic damage. Yep. And then the brave shift is the same thing but light damage. So that is a concern. That is kind of where we talked about Sice, I think.
Yeah, if you wanted to full dark, you'd take Sice for sure. Sice has a couple of like really cool things that like you wouldn't expect from an NVA 3-star. Like she has 135% wind and darken barrels. She also has she has um she has 87% attack in magic breaks,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's 85 for defense and spirit. So like she's fine as far as breaking, but like the Imperials like matter a lot, right? And if you want a darken barrel that's like fixes your rotation, like
Yep.
that's really cool.
So
The other thing that's
her Dark
worth
Imperil is, I'm looking, it's a 140. So Ibarra's is a little less than that, right?
Oh yeah. I was talking about the LB. She has the once per he has the once per fight, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a Magnus. It's a 87% all breaks and then
Yes.
140.
And then
Yes.
Ibarra's
I
is
want
135 Dark Imperil. Best one she's got.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we're gonna lean into the dark, then Sice for sure. If we're gonna go more fire or light, then Kuja.
The frames for her LB are bolting strike still.
Mm-hmm.
However, obviously you have dark imbue and stuff like that. So like it being physical is like a lot better than Kuja's being magic.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of interesting things. I wish Sice was like an actual like top of the tier because she's my favorite from Type Zero, but
There you go.
she's free. Like can't really complain. They're a lot worse. NVA said we didn't talk about at all.
Yep.
So she could have been one of those, but she does come with her own amps, though they're really small. Like they're only 30%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's on a dark or wind team. You can definitely consider running Size. If you don't have like the top of the top breakers,
Mm-hmm.
because 87% like is going to be more than enough for early game content anyway.
For sure. For sure. No, she's with 87%, Sice is probably gonna be killing the enemy with her break skills. um, so that's totally fine. So I think right now we're leaning towards Ibarra, Zon, and Rain as our core team, and subbing in either Kuja or Sice for a breaker. Honestly, I'm looking at our tank options, and we're either looking at Elena for magic or Galuf for physical. Although again, Runda exists, so you could just go get Runda if you need a physical tank. And then we're just looking at like random one-off elemental supports or healers. So like Poppy has some good utility. Folka had some good utility. Sarah, we definitely had some choices there.
Yeah, I think if you want a full utility character and you're able to get it because of ULCs, I would go for Sarah. I think Sarah's MVA, after like re-looking at it again, is like I love Folka, but like Sarah came out way later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Sarah's MVA is such a like premium support package. Or obviously you'll get like if you go select Sylvie with your ticket or whatever, right? Like she will probably take up the slot. However, maybe you don't want to do that, right? Maybe there's another character you really like. Maybe you want to get another dark character that works really good with a bar. Maybe honestly, if you're gonna have a full dark team, you consider Melissa.
That's definitely a good pick. If we're leaning heavy into Ibarra and wanting to do that full dark support, Melissa's got good killers. She's got immunity buffs. She's got mitigations. She's got SLB support, which is not really going to help anybody on our party other than herself. But well, I guess if you really feel like using Sice's SLB, But like she's got a lot of stuff and modifier boosts for Ibarra.
Mm-hmm.
Ibarra's not the best person to put it on, but it's definitely our best option that's on this party. So Melissa could be a good use for those if you wanted to pick a fragment. And since we got Radiant Elena's bolting or Brave Shift form, I don't feel the need to buy her fragments with that currency just yet. You know, not for maybe not a starter player. Like I personally did it today actually, but for a
Mm-hmm.
starter player who does not care about Clash of Wills this month and like getting rank 1, like you don't need it today.
So, in case people don't know, we're continuing to get more of this lapis
Mm-hmm.
on a daily basis. So, like, I am at 9 or 10k, I think.
Yeah.
So like, you only need 12k for the Elena shards and the select ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So like, once you start playing for a couple of days, you will be able to get both because that campaign lasts a while.
Yeah.
So like, if you weren't in this position where like you could get, or where you had EX1 Elena, right? You could get that and then still be able to select something by way before you're going to need it anyway, right? Like this is such a stellar starting account. You also have a 70 pool weekly, like if you're
Mm-hmm.
starting an account. So like you haven't done that, right? So you have a 70 pool. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can get in there. It doesn't have to be envies as we showed you today, right? Like there's all kinds of good TMRs and STMRs that are staples that people use all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That like, but it just depends. You have so many ways you could go with this party, right? So like you could honestly push for a fire party and just imbue Ibarra with fire from rain.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's another route. Like if you like Rain a lot, like maybe Rain's your favorite character from the game, right? You're like playing some of the story or whatever before you did all this, and you're like, I really like this Rain character. Well, you can make Rain the main focus of your party, right? And then like Kuja helps Rain. We got fire damage there.
Now,
Raisha is an element locked. Like
worth noting though, so this account only got Rain 1 copy, so we're not able to access the Brave Shift form yet. But you know, a month in the Fragment Dungeon is going to fix that.
sure, but we're super early on it. So we're super early on in the game.
Yeah.
Like you could get away with just regular form Rain, right?
Absolutely.
Like the
Absolutely.
regular trading on it. And then correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the regular form of Rain has the Infireja.
He does. Yeah, base form has it.
So like if you want to go that route, right? I personally would go the Ibarra route. You have her EX2. You have plenty of options. I think I would personally be on the list of people that would select Melissa,
Mm-hmm.
because she offers a lot to the party. She offers killers, which I think is valuable. She does all the stuff you said earlier.
Yep.
She also does some things that only she does, which is very unique and niche, but like it's a bonus, right? It's not like Call Me earlier where it's just like half of her kit. It's just super niche stuff. Like this is just extra tagged on stuff that's like, oh, this is really cool. Melissa's also pretty new, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, well, next week she's gonna be no, like, so like there's a lot of different ways you could do this party. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have the Tifa option, right?
Yep, we still have Tifa.
Like we still have the Tifa option. Like Ibarra doesn't like she's best at dark, right? But she doesn't have to be, right?
Nope.
Like you could run Folka if you don't like Ray and you're like, I just don't like this character. Like you won't get the leader skill bonus, but for the early part of the game, it doesn't matter. Like you could just run Tifa with Ibarra and just run a water team with Folka.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of different things while you find out if you enjoy the game or not when you're first starting. Just try stuff that you like. Like you do not have to play with meta parties, especially at the beginning of the game. Have fun. You want your 6 DPS party, do it. But if you're looking for like a full party options, like we have like basically a full Ibarra kit party with like a very good team.
Yeah, very serviceable. A lot of options for chaining, a lot of options for killer support, a lot of options for elements. You know, this account is if you were starting out today, had this account, like you're set. You know, you're not going to run into any trouble. Now, you might run into some trouble with gearing as you start collecting TMRs and STMRs and things like that. It's a kind of a given. But we've got a lot of options based on what we've pulled. So shouldn't have too much trouble once you start collecting resources. So what's your score? If you know, from like D to S, how are you rating how this pull session went for Sire?
Oh, this is an S.
This is an S.
Like this is an S. So like I every time somebody asks me what unit should I use for this trial, like almost every time I say, have you tried Ibarra yet? She's super flexible because she isn't elementally locked.
Yeah.
She has multiple chain fam. She can also finish. She's just great. Like Ibarra is my current favorite FFBE. Like that we have. Like she's already like my second favorite design by FFBE period. Behind Lauren. Rest in peace, her soul.
Oh.
Like I have been asking for a new MV Lauren for years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's whatever. But like Ibarra is like my second favorite, and then like it's really cool that they designed her well enough that I can continue to use her, right? Because some units are like, well, this lasted a month. Like I remember when Ibarra came out, and people were like, "Is this unit even good enough to be premium?" Like, yes, she's gonna get replaced next week. I mean, she's just like Wilk, right? I don't think so. And then she ended up just being Stellar.
Just got upgrades in the anniversary, so
she didn't need them.
Nope.
Like we'll take them, 100%. We'll take them.
Yes.
But like she didn't need them. Like it's just really funny how many times I see like somebody like I have issues with this trial. Well, have you tried Ibarra?
Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Ibarra?
Yeah, it's just like it's like we got the element trials nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like fire elemental trial. Well, just gonna bring Ibarra. Lightning elemental trial. She's not lightning. Well, just gonna bring Ibarra and imbue her. Like,
what's funny about that one is somebody in my Discord was just asking for help with one of those, and I said, "Oh, hold on, I think my Ibarra is still set for the lightning one." And then I realized, oh wait, that means she's also set for the fire one. Oh wait, that means she's also set for the dark one because like you can build her with Omni Killer very, very easily. And like she's all you need is death immunity, and she's set. Like so yeah, she's super good.
Like my personal Elena pulls were terrible, but one shining factor on that was I got 2 total MVs all the way to pity. They were both Ibarra.
Yeah.
So I was able to EX3 my Ibarra, which is cool because she's my most used unit.
We are definitely in the I got EX3 Ibarra off of this, and all I got was this stupid T-shirt. So
yeah.
So we are definitely in the same camp there. So I'm glad for that. Congrats to Sire for getting your Elena off of this very, very easily. And for honestly all in all a very good string of units that you pulled off the rainbows and stuff like that. If you were new, your average vet's gonna be like, oh my gosh, another mastermind's on, but whatever. This is not always about vets. This series of videos is about new players who are like just trying to see like what can I piece together with this like collection of random stuff. So I think we've been talking long enough. We've been talking for almost an hour and a half, Sketch, if you can believe that.
I can.
Yeah. No, I love chats like this. This is fantastic. So thank you so much for spending an hour and a half talking with me. And looking over stuff. And thanks again to Sire. And like I said before, if anyone watching this is interested in having a review of your polls done, where we do the just like this, definitely reach out to me. The best way to do that is going to be joining my Discord. I'm in the process of setting up like a channel for it with like kind of guidelines for like your video submissions. Again, it's going to include things like make sure do not disturb is turned on your phone so we don't see your nudes popping up, and things like that. But otherwise, like just like not necessarily talking over top of it. You can have the background music on, that's fine. Yeah, just good submissions would be great. Don't even have to be good polls, just good quality submissions of your recording. And then we'll take a look at them. Let me know. I'd love to do more of this and have guests on to talk about it. Sketch, you've been great to talk with as always. But I'm going to close this up. Do you have anything else to say before we let you go?
I hope everybody continues to have a good anniversary.
Yeah, it's been an interesting anniversary. You know, compared to last year, like I kind of miss slots to Chocobo. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna roll it up now. You guys be good to each other. Take care, and we will see you in the next video.